More than anything else in this world, your person wants you to understand that they have undergone a profound transformation. They are no longer the person who once stood before you, unable to see the precious gift that was being offered. They are no longer the person who carelessly dismissed your love, who turned away from your efforts, or who failed to recognize and appreciate the immense value of everything you were pouring into their life. The person they were then lived in shadows of their own making, blind to the light you were bringing into their existence. Now, their heart aches with a pain that cuts deeper than anything they have ever known. This emptiness, this profound void that your absence has created, has become their greatest teacher. It has awakened them to a truth they were too afraid to see before, the reality of how deeply and completely you touched their life. In the quiet moments of their solitude, in the stillness of the night when there is nowhere left to hide from their own thoughts, they finally recognize that your love was pure in its essence, consistent in its presence, and unconditional in its nature. You gave without counting the cost. You loved without keeping score. And they, blinded by their own fear and consumed by insecurity, allowed something irreplaceable to slip through their trembling fingers like water they could not hold. The guilt they carry now weighs upon their heart like a stone they cannot set down. It follows them through every day, reminding them of what they had and what they lost. They cannot forgive themselves for the way they took your devotion for granted, treating something sacred as though it were ordinary. They cannot forget the moments when they hurt you, when all you ever wanted was to love them with sincerity and wholeness. The weight of these memories haunts them, and they find themselves wishing desperately that they could turn back time and choose differently. There is a deeper truth beneath all of this, a confession that your person now understands about themselves. The reality is that they were deeply intimidated by your energy from the very beginning. You possess something that cannot be taught or imitated. You radiate a strength that comes from within, a confidence that is not arrogance but self-knowledge, and a kind of royal presence that made them feel small and unworthy in comparison. Your light was so bright that it exposed all the places within them where they felt inadequate and broken. They struggled constantly with feelings of not being enough. There was always this voice inside their head, whispering that they could never truly measure up to what you deserved. In their mind, there existed this haunting, persistent thought that one day you would wake up and realize your own worth. They feared that you would finally see yourself the way others saw you, and in that moment of clarity, you would choose someone better, someone more worthy of the love you had to give. This fear created an invisible wall between you. Instead of stepping forward into the vulnerability that real love requires, instead of opening their heart fully and allowing themselves to be seen in all their imperfection, they held themselves back. They built protective barriers around their heart, convinced they were shielding themselves from a pain they believed was inevitable. The deepest irony of this tragedy is that in protecting themselves from imagined future pain, they created the very suffering they were trying to avoid. By holding back, by refusing to meet your love with equal courage, they created the circumstances that led to losing you. The pain they feared became the pain they now live with every single day. For what felt like an eternity, you poured your energy into the relationship without reservation. You gave your love wholeheartedly, not in measured doses or calculated exchanges, but with the fullness of your being. You offered your affection freely, your support unconditionally, and your complete attention without distraction. Through both your words and your actions, you made it abundantly clear that you were not playing games or passing time. You wanted to build something meaningful, something lasting, something real. You were ready to create a foundation for a love that could weather any storm. But instead of cherishing this incredible gift you were offering, instead of recognizing the rarity of what you were giving, they pushed it away. They were too lost in their own maze of insecurities, too trapped in their own fears to see what was right in front of them. They could not accept love because they did not feel worthy of receiving it. And so, they sabotaged the very thing they wanted most. Eventually, after giving and giving until you had nothing left to give, you grew tired of waiting for them to see your worth. You grew weary of hoping that one day they would wake up and recognize what was being offered to them. You made the brave and necessary decision to stop abandoning yourself for someone who was abandoning you. You chose to focus on yourself, to redirect the love you had been pouring into them back into your own healing and happiness. You stopped chasing after someone who was running from love. You stopped begging for the affection and appreciation you deserved. Instead, you made the powerful choice to honor yourself. That choice, that moment when you decided you were worthy of your own love, has shaken your person more profoundly than anything else ever could. It was a wake-up call that shattered their illusions and forced them to confront reality. They now find themselves watching you from a distance, unable to look away, unable to let go. Whether through social media, through mutual connections, or simply in spirit, they are keeping track of you because they cannot bear the thought of being completely cut out of your life. To them, your silence feels like a punishment far greater than any angry words or confrontation. Your absence speaks louder than any argument ever could. What shocks them most, what leaves them in absolute awe, is the grace with which you walked away. You did not scream or rage. You did not beg them to change or give you one more chance. You did not cling desperately to something that was causing you pain. You simply released them with dignity, showing no resentment, no bitterness, and no signs of hatred. You walked away with your head held high, demonstrating a strength they did not know existed. That silent strength has left them speechless. It has shown them the true depth of your power, the remarkable ability to let go with peace rather than rage, to choose your own well-being over attachment, to love yourself more than you needed their validation. In that moment, you became more attractive to them than ever before, not because you were trying to win them back, but because you were no longer trying at all. Now your person is realizing the full scope and magnitude of what they lost. They understand with painful clarity that they cannot find you in anyone else, no matter how hard they try. No matter where they go, no matter who they meet, they are constantly reminded of you. Every conversation feels empty compared to the ones they had with you. Every connection feels shallow. Every interaction lacks the depth and meaning you brought to their life. The love you gave was not ordinary or replaceable. It was transformative. It was the kind of love that changes a person at their core. You taught them what love truly means, not through lectures or demands, but through the way you loved them. You taught them patience when they were difficult. You taught them compassion when they were cold. You taught them about spirituality and connection on a level they had never experienced before. Through you, they learned humility, because your energy did not just elevate them and show them what was possible, it also exposed the parts of themselves that desperately needed healing. You were both a mirror, reflecting back their own wounds and fears, and a guide, showing them the path towards something better. Even in your absence, your lessons continue to linger in their life. They cannot escape the ways you changed them. You left an imprint on their soul that time cannot erase. Your person is now determined to do everything within their power to win you back. They no longer want to hold back their emotions or hide behind the walls of fear they once built. They want to show you that they are willing to take risks, to step into the vulnerability that terrified them before, and to prove their love through consistent action rather than empty promises and hollow words. They want to demonstrate that they are no longer intimidated by your light, but instead are inspired by it. They want to rise to meet you at your level, not shrink away from your brilliance because it makes them uncomfortable. Yet beneath all their determination, beneath all their plans and promises, lies a deep and abiding sorrow. They know with certainty that they cannot undo the past. They cannot erase the times they hurt you, ignored your needs, or dismissed the love you so freely offered without asking for anything in return. They cannot take back the moments when they made you feel small or unimportant. All they can do now is hope with everything they have that you will allow them the chance to make amends, to prove that they have truly changed, to show you that they are now capable of honoring and cherishing you the way you always deserved. They want to rebuild what was broken between you, to create something even stronger from the ashes of what fell apart. They want to show you through their actions, day after day, that they are no longer the person who took you for granted. The truth that has become undeniably clear to them is that your absence has humbled them in ways they never expected or imagined possible. They have come to realize that love is not about possession or control. It is not about having someone belong to you or bending them to your will. Love is about appreciation, about recognizing the gift you have been given. It is about balance, about give and take in equal measure. It is about reciprocity, about meeting someone's efforts with efforts of your own. They see now, with the kind of clarity that only loss can bring, that you were never asking for too much. You were not being demanding or unreasonable. You were simply asking for the bare minimum that every person deserves in a relationship: love, respect, consideration, and presence. And while they failed to give you those basic things in the past, while they were too blind and too afraid to meet you where you stood, they are prepared now to give it all to you with every ounce of sincerity they possess. They want the chance to love you the way you deserve to be loved from the beginning. Your person feels as though they are living in a world where nothing and no one can replace you. The emptiness they feel without you in their life has proven beyond any doubt that no distraction, no substitute, no other connection or relationship can fill the void you left behind. They have tried to move forward. They have tried to fill their days with other people, other activities, other pursuits. But everything feels hollow without you. You are unforgettable to them. You are irreplaceable. You are the one who awakened their heart when they did not even know it was sleeping. You stirred their spirit and taught them lessons they will carry for the rest of their life. And now, all they want is one more chance. Not to rewrite the past, because they know that is impossible. Not to pretend that the pain never happened. But to create a future where they can finally meet you at the level of love you always offered, where they can be the partner you always deserved. My love, my dearest soul, ever since the day our paths crossed in this lifetime, my world has never been the same. From that very first moment when our eyes met, when our energies connected, you became a presence that filled my mind and heart in ways I never knew were possible. It feels as though my spirit recognized you instantly, as if some ancient part of me had been waiting for you my entire life without even realizing it. You were the answer to a question I did not know I was asking. Now, all I seem to do is daydream about us, about the life we could live together if the universe would grant us that blessing. I dream about the moments we could share, the adventures that are waiting for us, the quiet mornings and the peaceful evenings. There is not a single day that goes by where I do not imagine what it feels like to hold your hand in mine, to hear your laughter fill the air, to simply exist beside you in peace and joy, with no walls between us and no fears keeping us apart. I need you to know something deeply important, something I want you to carry in your heart. Never, not for even a single second, doubt yourself or your worth. You are perfect to me. Not only in your physical beauty, which is radiant beyond any words I could find to describe it, but in the very essence of who you are as a person. The way you care for others, the way you love with your whole heart, the way your presence alone can calm the storms raging within me, these are treasures that no one else could ever replace. You are one of a kind, and I see you. My love for you burns like an eternal flame deep within my soul, in a place so sacred that nothing can touch it. It is not something that can fade with time or be destroyed by distance or circumstance. What we share transcends ordinary connection. It is destiny written in the stars. It is fate woven into the fabric of the universe itself. It is a bond that existed before we met and will continue long after this lifetime ends. I have come to recognize something undeniable, something I can no longer hide from. You are my soulmate. That truth echoes inside me every single day, in every heartbeat, in every breath I take. Yet, I also know with painful clarity that there are obligations in my life that I must fulfill. There are karmic lessons I must finish learning, responsibilities I must carry out, storms I must weather before I can truly and fully come back to you the way I want to. It would not be fair to bring you into chaos I created before we met. It would not be fair to let the turbulence of my unfinished business touch the purity of what we share. You deserve the best of me, not the broken or incomplete pieces that I am still working to put back together. That is why I am making changes in my life. That is why I am working so hard, fighting so fiercely to become a better version of myself. It is not just for my own healing. It is for you. It is for us. So that when the time finally comes for us to be together, we can step into love without barriers or fears weighing us down, without shadows from the past darkening our future. When I walked away, I told myself I could adjust to life without you. I convinced myself that I could learn to live with your absence, that time would make it easier. But the truth is, my love, I was completely wrong. I thought I would adapt, that I would grow numb to the ache of missing you. But instead, I feel emptier than I ever have. My heart carries a void that nothing and no one else can fill, no matter how hard I try to fill it. Life without you feels incomplete, like a story with missing chapters or a song that has been cut short before reaching its crescendo. Every single day, I long for your presence. I long for the comfort of knowing you are near, for the peace that comes from simply being in the same space as you. Since we separated, one of my greatest fears, the one that keeps me awake at night, has been the thought of you moving on without me. It terrifies me to imagine you finding someone else, someone who is there when I cannot be. It terrifies me to think that you might decide you no longer want me, that you might close your heart to the possibility of us. That fear gnaws at me constantly, but I cannot blame you for whatever choices you make. You deserve happiness above all else, even if that happiness does not include me. Still, deep in my heart, I believe that what we share is rare, something that cannot be replaced or forgotten, something that only comes along once in a lifetime. That belief is what gives me strength to keep pushing forward, to keep changing and growing and healing until I am worthy of standing beside you again. I wish you could see inside my heart for just one moment. If you could, you would see how deeply I love you, how the thought of you fills every corner of my being. You would see how badly I long to hear your voice again, how much I crave even the smallest sign from you. I want to know how you feel about me now, in this present moment. Do you still think of me when you are alone? Do you still feel that bond that I carry so strongly every single day? I ache for your words, for your reassurance, for the comfort of knowing that somewhere inside you, the flame of us still burns. You are not just someone I love. You are so much more than that. You are my anchor in the storm, my compass when I am lost, my guiding light in the darkness. You inspire me to grow, to heal, to become someone better than I was yesterday. You are the reason I am choosing to walk through the pain instead of running from it like I have always done before. You are the dream I refuse to give up on, no matter how impossible it sometimes seems. No matter how much time passes, no matter how many obstacles appear in our path, please understand that everything I do now is driven by love. Every change I make, every step I take toward becoming better, is motivated by the desire to create a life where you never again have to worry about instability, where you never again feel like you are stepping into chaos or uncertainty. I want our love to be surrounded by peace, safety, and joy. I want to be the person who protects your heart, who gives you the space to flourish and become everything you are meant to be, who celebrates the beauty of who you are without hesitation or reservation. I know I have made mistakes. I know I have caused you pain by stepping away when you needed me to stay. But I did it not out of lack of love, please believe that. I did it out of the deepest love, because I did not want to pull you into a storm you did not deserve to weather. If I could go back in time, I would hold you tighter. I would choose differently. But all I can do now is move forward with determination to make things right. My love, my soulmate, please do not forget that no matter how far apart we may seem right now, I carry you with me in every breath I take, in every thought that crosses my mind, in every heartbeat that keeps me alive. I am yours. I always have been, and I always will be. And when the time is right, when I have become the person you deserve, I will find my way back to you. Not as the broken version you once knew, but as the partner you truly deserve. Until then, please remember that you are loved beyond measure. You are cherished beyond words. And you are the reason my soul keeps burning with hope, even in the darkest moments.